Bishop from Upton High School, and I'm going to be talking to you about the table saw. This is the table saw. So this is the table, this is the fence, and this is the blade sheath. There's the blade. And so some safety stuff about the table saw. You always want to remember to wear your safety glasses and make sure that your sleeves are pulled up, and make sure that you don't have any necklaces or anything dangling that could get into the blade. So to work the fence, you just pull this up and then you can slide it back and forth. And then there's this handy little ruler over here, and you can set it to however far you want to cut. So let's say we're going to do a 4-inch cut. You just lock it down on 4 inches, and then this is 4 inches from the blade, so it's going to cut 4 inches off. There's this thing down here, and it higher and lowers the blade. So you look up here and it'll higher the blade, and you always want to make sure your blade is 1/4 of an inch above your piece of wood. That way it cuts all the way through. Another thing that's down here is this. It's a little wood splitter. So if you're cutting a really big piece of wood, you would take this saw sheath off and put it in place of this, and then that's when bad blade down comes in handy. So whenever you don't have this sheath on here, you want to make sure to pay a lot of attention to bad blade down, because if you're not running the table saw and making your cut, you want to make sure your blade is below the table. That way nothing can get cut when it doesn't need to be cut. And to turn it on, you just come down here, pull this out. If it was off right now, it would flash red, and then you gotta wait for the flashing red to be done before you turn it on. Now we're gonna show you how to make a cut. So it is important to have a catcher to make sure that your wood does not start to float above the table and it doesn't get cut all the way through. Push sticks are very important too, that way your hand doesn't get close to the piece of wood or to the blade. Make sure to keep one hand on your piece of wood. Over the fence and then turn it off. And that's how you rip a board with the table saw.